Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993. We are here live for the first of 2 live reviews we will do on this Sunday evening to catch up. Because I do gotta catch up with these two now, or else after how busy this week is gonna get for me, I'm gonna be doomed. I am going to be doomed. So we're going to start off by doing Friday Night Smackdown, the November 18th, 2022 review. And it took place this past Friday, again, November 18th, 2022, in Hartford, Connecticut. As a young kid, I always said Connecticut because I could never pronounce Connecticut. But now, of course, at 29 years old, I proudly can pronounce my states. Connecticut. But anyways, so we're, of course, going to talk about everything that went down from this show. And overall, it was a decent show. I had a couple problems, though, with a couple things on this show. Which, there'll be a small rant on, 2 things. The rest of the show was fine. We had 2 more matches for the SmackDown World Cup tournament. We, of course, got the answer as to who will indeed be the 5th member of Team Brutti, as, of course, they're saying the Bloodline may be feeling oozy, but the Babyface team with the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and their 5th member, they're feeling kind of, Brutti, as you know what to call. After we get to the end, though, I am going to do a kind of a follow-up, though, on something I posted earlier today, and just kind of go from there with it. But, of course, we will do my SmackDown live review, take a small breather, and then I will do my AEW Full Gear live review as well tonight. Because after tonight, because I'm not going to be able to watch Raw tomorrow night, I won't be prepared to review it Tuesday night, and I also will not even be able to anyways, because I have a phone meeting before my usual Tuesday night trivia. Wednesday, I have a meeting with someone regarding stuff for my wedding. Thursday's Thanksgiving, and I have family coming in from out of town. Maybe Friday I'll be able to start catching up, but I'm going to be so behind on content this week. I'm going to have no time for content this coming week at all. But, of course, we will continue on and go from there. But let's roll in and let's check the live chat. And it seems pretty live so far. We got 3 very good subscribers of mine. First, of course, we got Tyler saying this show was weak. Somewhat agree, because there were some problems I had with the show. There was some stuff that was good. We have that. And, of course, Tyler's begging for Charlotte to come back. Which, honest to God, SmackDown probably does need. Although I still think she'd probably be going back to Raw, because I keep hearing rumors they want to do Bianca versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. We got Wrestling News 365. I hope Survivor Series is a good show, and we will see Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight at Survivor Series. Looking very possible we will, because I still feel like The Fiend, Bray Wyatt never wrestled on live TV. It was just pay-per-views. So if they're not going to do it at Survivor Series, when will they do it? Which that's right. If I got to do a Survivor Series preview this week, so that's, holy smokes, I'm going to be very behind this week. I might have to just do Raw and then preview Survivor Series off of that. We'll have to wait and see. And look who else is in the house. We got Robbie Kenobi. My good buddy. What's up, Robbie? Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali definitely had the 205 Live vibe in terms of presentation and performance. Run it back. Robbie, I was thinking the same thing too. Again, they've been booking Mustafa Ali like he was on 205 Live. Back in the era where it was him, Cedric Alexander, and Buddy Murphy running the show. And the few matches that they had whenever Ali was the leader of Retribution were some pretty good matches. So I could not wait to see what they could do under Triple H. Yes, Ali was selling injuries, But I think if he was not selling injuries, they could have a phenomenal, like, sleeper match for sure. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. Wrestling News 365. Got 2 dream matches right now off the back of my head. I want to see AJ Styles versus Gunther. Okay. And Johnny Gargano versus AJ Styles. Nice. I think Ronda Rousey should just win the tag titles with Shayna Baszler. At some point, yes, they should. Well, unless Shayna Baszler loses like she did this past week. Like, she's been losing since being on the main roster. Yeah, we're going to rant about that a little bit. Let me see here. If you had one nitpick about this show, what would it be? I have 2, but I will save it till I get there. And of course, Tyler going on his Horseface rant. Horseface is an awful wrestler and champion. He really dislikes Ronda Rousey. I think Finn Balor should bring back the Demon King and Fowler for WrestleMania 39 and wrestle John Cena. It would be a bad. Yeah, I have definitely some ideas for John Cena WrestleMania 39. Honestly, though, after this past Monday, I really want to see John Cena versus Austin Theory. Like, if I had a number 1 opponent for John Cena this year for WrestleMania, it would be Austin Theory. Maybe I'll do a video about that. Robbie is excited for Survivor Series. The 2 War Games matches, Balor versus Styles, the possible LA Knight Bray Wyatt match, and a possible U.S. title match as well. Of course, would be awesome for sure. Tyler still wants AJ to go back to SmackDown so bad. Trust me, I would love to see AJ Styles go back to the house that AJ Styles built. But again, I keep hearing rumors that he wants to be able to be available on weekends for his kids' events. So I don't think AJ's ever going back to SmackDown, in my opinion. Who's one guy on SmackDown has Roman Reigns that you would actually want to see Kevin Owens face? Maybe Logan Paul, maybe Gunther. Yes, those are all very true. Honestly, him and LA Knight wouldn't be too bad either. I think if you're a good talker, LA Knight is. I think him and LA Knight, even like Owens and Sol Sikoa would be good also. I would say. Tyler does not want Charlotte versus Bianca. Honestly, neither do I. I still want Rhea to be the one to dethrone Bianca. My favorite part of this year's Survivor Series is that finally the card is story-based and not Raw versus SmackDown. Thank you! Thank you! As Chad Gable would say. But yes, Robbie, I could not agree more. I couldn't take another Raw versus SmackDown show. Like I said, it was fine the first year because the whole concept was fresh. And as I said too, I wanted competition between the brands. But we never really got that. But yes, thank goodness Survivor Series is must-see again. And both War Games matches I am looking forward to. The men's story is a little bit more random. The women's have a little more story to theirs. But I still think the men's match is going to be awesome. Oh man, is it going to be awesome or what? It's going to be physical. It'll be brutal. Yeah, I cannot wait for those matches. I'm so glad War Games is on the main roster. But again, we got a lot to talk about tonight for both SmackDown and Full Gear. So let's do SmackDown first, of course, then move on. But anyway, so we'll start it off. So again, SmackDown took place in Hartford, Connecticut this week. And we're going to be getting 2 more of the SmackDown World Cup matches. We, of course, had another promo with LA Knight and Bray Wyatt that ended with Bray Wyatt having a nightmare look of a face. And LA Knight seemed to have gotten somewhat of a comeuppance later on in the show with a very nice backstage segment as well. And much more, of course, to do so as well. And, of course, the big mystery, the big story of tonight was who was going to be villain Brute and being the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre's 5th member for their team for War Games. So the show actually started off with the 4 men feeling Brute, making their way out. And then they got in the ring. Sheamus first gets on the microphone. Says how he's happy to have Drew McIntyre at his side fighting the Bloodline, even though they've had their differences in recent years. He had even asked Drew McIntyre to be the best man when he got married 3 weeks ago. Sheamus says how Drew's feeling a little broody, and of course that got over really quick as well. And of course they had a little bit of fun with it. Of course Drew accepts the offer to be an honorary brute for War Games. So Drew of course counts his fingers, recognizes we only got 4. We need 5. And Sheamus was ready to reveal the 5th guy until Sami Zayn, who's now calling people my dog. So now it's my dog. Why have you for? I'm not going. Nah, that's too far. That's just too far to do. Anyway, Sami Zayn comes out, the honorary Uce. He does not care who the 5th member is because they're feeling great, even pretty Ucy about the whole thing. And in any case, they can't get in his head because he's Sami Zayn, honorary Ucy in the sky with diamonds, and he doesn't make a lot of guarantees. But he'll put his name on this one. The Bloodline will win War Games, which I'm expecting to happen. But of course, I will explain how I think the Bloodline should win when I get to my predictions. Sammy says he'll run through them and give them a taste of Survivor Series. But Sheamus says he enjoys that he's so confident. But when he finds out their 5th member, he'll crap his pants because it's the last thing that he'll expect. You know, I heard rumors, although I was surprised because of a recent injury. But of course, we will talk about that when we get to the big reveal at the end of the show. So then we have Ricochet getting ready to come out for the first of 2 first-round World Cup matches. And we have a backstage footage from earlier today where Mustafa Ali is told that he is cleared, but they don't recommend him to compete tonight. As, of course, he's selling the injuries he had suffered recently from the beatdown from Mr. Bobby Lashley on Raw. Now, Ricochet, though, is trying to talk him out, saying, you don't got to do this. But Ali says he can breathe, he can move, he is going to fight. Again, just continuing to bring back that heart and soul, gimmick he had. As I said before, being like the Shawn Michaels of 205 Live again. Okay, 205 Live does not exist. Rest in peace. No, I'm not going to pull out and play taps again like I did for the 24/7 title on TikTok, which, by the way, has 5,000 views on it. Thank you very much, guys. I didn't get to make that video, that TikTok as long as I wanted to, but, you may be seeing more of that stuff soon. But, again, we will do so. And, hold the phone here. Hold the phone. We've got Robbie One Kenobi sending me some messages on Instagram. Let's see what they are.
I know this is a Smackdown review, and I'm watching your Smackdown review right now as I record this message, but I had a raw idea, an idea for, how to carry a certain storyline moving forward on Monday Night Raw. So I was listening to Edge's theme, Metalingus, the other night, and I started thinking that he still has unfinished business with Finn Balor and the Judgment Day. So I started thinking, if they want to push this thing out, if they want to continue to push this feud towards WrestleMania, what if at WrestleMania 39 they do Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit rematch? But, and I'm going to tell you what I have in store in the next message, but with higher stakes.
Should we play part 2 or should I say to be continued? Let's see.
So, have it be Edge versus Finn Balor 2 at WrestleMania in an I Quit match. But this time, there's more at stake instead of just saying I quit. If Finn Balor says I quit, then he has to step down as leader of the Judgment Day and disband the group.
Fair enough.
If Edge says I quit, he not only quits the match, he quits the company for good. He quits wrestling for good. So Finn Balor versus Edge, the rematch, I quit at WrestleMania 39. inside Hell in
I
a Cell.
I was just thinking that too.
What do you got to say, Daddy?
Oh, the fact you called me Daddy too was great. It's even funnier. No, Robbie, believe it or not, as you were saying that, I was thinking, okay, but I feel like they really got to protect, like, you know, they can't quite, they got to really, you know, put the odds against, you know, the Judgment Day from interfering again and going again as far as, you know, well, they still could from outside of the cell as well, but yes, I would definitely do, Edge and Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell, I Quit rematch WrestleMania if they want to do that. Because Edge he is starting to see the end. But yes, I love that idea. And also the fact you call me Daddy, as a lot of people are jokingly calling me Daddy anymore. But yes, Robbie, as always, thank you very much for that information. Definitely keep an eye out on the phone to see if, in fact, Robbie pitches any more ideas through Instagram. But we will continue to roll on. Thank you to Robbie. But anyways, yes, Mustafa Ali and Ricochet. Again, they were telling this story where Ricochet is trying to take it easy on Ali because they are friends. But Ali's like, no, bring it to me. Bring it to me, man. Like, not quite as, like, big of a moment. Of course, like, it's, like, I always think back again to when Kofi Kingston was in the Gauntlet match. And the moment where I really, like, dug it and got serious into this was whenever AJ Styles came out. You'd think it'd be a heel that would get Kofi fired up again. No, it was a babyface. AJ Styles like, hey, if you can't do this, it's okay. It's okay. And then Kofi like shows like, no! Fight me, man! Fight me! I've waited 11 long years for this! Like, moments like that, it's like what really, you know, gets you hot behind the babyface. Ali, you know, okay, it was like the most like standout thing about this again. Just this idea that Ali is taking the craziest ass bumps. Again, my favorite is still that one where when Lashley beat him down backstage and he just like tossed him into a road case. He like hit his back off the road case and just like fell down, like probably landed like flat on his neck behind. But it was just like, it was one of those things where it's like you just toss something and it hits off the backboard and falls to the hoop basically. But this match with Ricochet and Ali was great. Get Ali, you know, not selling injuries though. Put them on pay-per-view. This could even be like an Intercontinental or U.S. title match. Like, okay, I'll even say this. This is not a good idea to predict, though, but if they would have kept Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown, since both are on separate shows, put the U.S. title on Mustafa Ali and put the Intercontinental title back on Ricochet, this would have been a good, like champion versus champion match. Of course, I wouldn't want to be champion versus champion. I actually have an actual title on the line. But you know. But it was still an excellent match. Ricochet actually won doing a 450, a shooting star press, while Ali was standing up, which was very cool. But Ricochet got the win. Like I said, though, give me these guys on pay-per-view with Ali not selling injuries. And we will have an awesome pay-per-view match. But yeah, excellent match there for the first round match of the for the SmackDown World Cup. We have a segment backstage, of course, with Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, telling off Sami Zayn for projecting victory. And Sami's like, "What did I do? I just, Brendan, we're gonna win. Isn't that what you guys want to do?" But of course, Jey thinks they're going to win. He just thinks Sami's being weak. And then, of course, Jimmy separates them out for once again fighting each other because I guess Jay's not feeling very oozy. But Jimmy says and tells everyone to chill because Roman Reigns is on his way. Do you want what happened a few weeks ago happen again? Well, have Sami Zayn mention being feeling very oozy and being break character again, we're going to be totally fine again. But Sami accepts his talking to, and so does Jey. And we get ready for later on as Roman Reigns will be arriving and Sami Zayn has a first round SmackDown World Cup match against Pete Dunne later in the show. We also get some cryptic Bray Wyatt interruptions in that video package about the Usos becoming the longest reigning tag team champions in history. New Day's backstage, admits that, they're sad, and before we can hear more from them, we have Imperium roll up and mocking them, and basically it sets up for a 6-man tag match, and they need to find a tag partner. Then we see Madcap Moss working out backstage, and then Emma rolls up and chats with him, says it's been 3 weeks, and he can still barely talk because of that cross jacket, and it's about revenge. She says tonight's a fresh start, and she knows how good he is. So go out there and take the fight to him. Obviously, again, they're teasing a love story thing with Emma and Madcap Moss. Even though I feel like you don't have to do a full-on love story with them, like tease that it's going to become a thing. Because again, we all know they're already a couple. So like I said, I still think they're only doing this because Emma's more popular and they've been trying so hard to get Madcap Moss over, but it just is not working. So maybe he can get a rub by, being partnered with his real-life girlfriend. We'll have to wait and see, but of course it did not work out as Karrion Kross then squashed Madcap Moss, and afterwards Emma came down and to check on him and whatnot, and we went to break. But then we have Bray Wyatt, which I'm going to try to make a TikTok later, but there's that one part in Bray Wyatt's theme song. Because Robbie sent me some more messages. I will get to them in a bit. Hang on. Let me pull up Bray Wyatt's theme song. Shatter, Orange Code, which is slowly probably becoming one of my favorite theme songs, of course. It's just so badass. Where is it? Aha. Wait for it. Come on. Almost there. It's almost there. Hang on. Does anybody else think that part right? I think the lyrics say he's saying "die for me, my brother," but to me it sounds like he's saying "shout for meatball sub." I don't know because I had food on my mind the first time I heard that part, but yeah, it sounds like "shout for meatball sub." I seriously may make a TikTok for that because the man here is itching again to maybe expand on his social media. But, again, I will address that again as I did post a video earlier in the day of possibly getting a couple more social media platforms for the channel. But anyways, Bray Wyatt came out here. And he says lately he's realized that he's been conditioned his entire life to be a certain way, and eventually you feel like changing is impossible. He was conditioned to be strong. To take that fear is respect. And when he looks at the path behind him, it's covered in ashes and blood. But he starts to wonder why he does the things he does. And he can actually change. And if he was LA Knight, he knows exactly how he'd handle the situation. And that makes him sad. But he wanted to come out here to do this because he feels really strong about it, and he wanted to apologize tonight for what he did to him, which is that headbutt last week on SmackDown. Then out comes L.A. Knight. Yeah! He speaks from the stage, talking about how he's run a cheap shot heard around the world over and over again the last week. Each time he gets a little hotter than the last. But he's out here and apologizing? If he's honest, it makes him a little conflicted because he just talked about fear and respect. And looking in his eyes right now, LA Knight sees something that tells him that last week his lack of fear garnered him some respect. When he thinks about it, the rarest commodity around here is respect, more valuable than the dollar. And nobody's ever understood him or gotten him. He slides in the ring, slaps Bray Wyatt, gives him like a little baby slap across the face, and says, "I accept your apology." Now we can go our separate ways. And then Bray says, okay, we're even. And there's a lot he wants to do to him, but he's going to fight all these urges. And the decision Knight makes right now will change the rest of his life. Bray then reiterates, they're even. He offers a handshake. Instead, though, LA Knight bitch slap Bray Wyatt yet again and just runs off. And Bray Wyatt had this look of terror. Like, a look you don't want to see in your nightmares on his face. And we all know that LA Knight may have just dug his grave. He may want to run back to the Maximum Male Models. He may want to be Max Dupree again to hide his identity. Because Bray Wyatt's now going after him. LA Knight played with Bray Wyatt's demons. And now the demons are going to overtake LA Knight. And probably squash him. But that's okay. Because this feud with LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. I mean, yes, Bray has to go over. LA Knight could take the loss. But it's one of those feuds where it's like, it's a character-driven feud. That even though Knight's going to get the loss, he's going to benefit from it in the long run. He really is. So, of course, I think later on we did have an interview with LA Knight who was trying to escape out of the building. He denies any fear of Bray Wyatt. But as that interview is going on, he opens a door and deep in the back you see a devil mask back there. And after commercial, LA Knight's trapped under a pile of debris and so much other crap that fell on him. So yeah, he did kind of get what he was talking about. What he got coming for him. But yeah, that was that. Then we had a backstage also interview where we see Karrion Kross run into the Usos. They're like, "Are you the fifth member for the Brawling Brutes?" And then Kross is like, "Look, I will go for Roman Reigns and his titles on my own time, but I'll show up alone when I do." And says he has no business being involved in the War Games stuff, which was a nice tease there. And I'm still wanting to see Karrion Kross versus Roman Reigns. I just still feel like they kind of put this feud. The build to the first match was good. The build to the second match, the steel cage match, which was good. It felt like this was a little bit more on the back burner. There, but not really there completely. But at some point, I'd want to see that match. Roman Reigns and Karrion Kross. That would be good. But then we get Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi Blackheart. Of course, Ronda Rousey's out there in the corner for Shayna, and I'm like, oh no. Look, I like the idea of putting Shayna Baszler with Ronda Rousey. Eventually, it's going to build to a match between those two. Yes, at some point, they both should probably have the tag titles, as they should as a team. I know Tyler would disagree, but it's how I feel. Can we please stop having Shayna lose, though? Please? I don't care if she's supposed to be playing second fiddle to Ronda right now. I am sick and tired of these protected roll-up losses that Shayna keeps getting, even under Triple H, and it's driving me crazy. Shotzi Blackheart defeated Shayna after, of course, there was several, interferences from Ronda until Raquel Rodriguez came out and evened the odds, and it was able to cause a distraction, and Shotzi Blackheart wins with a schoolboy roll-up. Oh, God. I mean, it again shows, especially the women's divisions, they need shaken up. Because Raw has Bianca, Rhea, Bayley, which, yes, she's been booked to a weird position, but you can rely on her. Becky, I'll even give Asuka a rub in there, Alexa. They have people who are heading in the right direction. SmackDown still is flat as hell. It's flat as hell. I mean, yes, we don't have Charlotte right now. Sasha looks like she's just about done. Naomi looks like she's not coming back either, which I'm surprised. I thought at least Naomi would come back, because I still think the bloodline needs to have a woman. And Naomi, again, would be perfect to be the female member of the bloodline. But, of course, Sasha Banks is filing for a bunch of trademarks now. So I'm pretty much assuming Sasha's not coming back. But Raw has some more people, because SmackDown needs help. And don't get me wrong, I love the fact they gave Shotzi her tank back, the previous character she has. But again, the problem I have is that she feels like an old toy that's good, but they're still like dusting off the cobwebs on her. Like, I have no interest in this Shotzi and Ronda match. I really don't. Honestly, if they really wanted, like a match just to, give Ronda something to do, I would have rather gone with Raquel Rodriguez, in my opinion. I mean, Raquel, she has her matches where she's showing something, but she also has matches she's showing she's, green still, such as that six-woman, six-pack challenge, which was awful last week. But I would have rather had it been Raquel be the one to get this match, because Shotzi, again, just got her old character back. But again, it's still like you just pulled her back out of the toy chest, and you're still dusting the cobwebs off of her. So yeah, I don't know what to say, but that's one thing I didn't like. The second thing I did not like, so the 6-man tag match we have with Imperium versus the New Day. Which, first off, I keep saying, especially since New Day no longer have the record, please split them up. Please split them up. There is nothing left for them to do. Yes, they're going to be going as Hall of Famers, but as long as they're still here, give them something fresh to do. Turn Kofi heel. Xavier Woods could still be a solid mid-card act. Hopefully when Big E comes back, hopefully we will get some sort of, hopefully he will be able to get another shot in the main event scene, as he should. But, anyways, their tag team partner is Braun Strowman, who, of course, has a lot of heat on him because of his flippity-flopper tweet he had posted after his decent but not amazing match with Omos on Twitter. So Braun Strowman is their opponent. And at first, because even I think it was Wrestling News 365 was saying, this match is going to be awesome. Because it's looking like, Braun Strowman's facing Ricochet next week in the semifinals for the SmackDown World Cup tournament. And it's a good chance they could have Braun Strowman versus Gunther, which would be an awesome match. This 6-man tag match killed it for me. Why? Because Gunther was terrified of Braun Strowman. He was running away from him like a coward. Oh my God, it's too soon for this to happen. Yes, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of having Gunther be a dominating Intercontinental heel champion. And then all of a sudden, one day, you find that one person that just throws you off guard. It is still way too soon for that to be happening to Gunther. Way too soon. He was a total coward in this match. Even Giovanni Vinci wasn't even afraid of him. Which, I like Giovanni Vinci, don't get me wrong, but he's the one showing no fear. Gunther's showing all the fear in the world. And I'm like, dear God, no! Why would you do this? Yes, he's a big man. Yes, well, he's lost a lot of weight. He's only 320 pounds now? He's lost about 60 pounds, I think, since he got released, which, good for him. He's in excellent shape, but dear God, that's not what Gunther is! He's the ring general, not the coward general. I saw that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So yes, that happened there. The New Day win with a midnight hour on Ludwig Kaiser, but yes, now we got We're teasing a possible winner, and Gunther is terrified of him. Dear God, it's too soon to be doing that. Why? And then, of course, we have a segment backstage with Braun Strowman and Gorilla. Says you can never take your eyes off the monster. He's looking forward to winning the cup and then taking the title off of Gunther. And then Ricochet comes out of nowhere and says he's looking too far in the future because if he keeps looking past the flippy floppers, which I know Strowman got a crack on that, it might come back to haunt him. Which it may, but honestly, at this point, I'd rather see Strowman get eliminated. Because I'm sorry, if Gunther is going to be terrified of Strowman, I have no interest in that match. I have zero interest in that match. Oh God, I saw that. I'm like, that is something Vince McMahon would totally do. Especially when you're just reading reports that if Vince McMahon stuck around, he was going to bury Gunther. After that segment on Raw, I guess, for the Independence Day that Gunther had with R-Truth, he soured completely on Gunther, was going to bury him and send him back to NXT. And now look, you're supposed to make him like the next Brock Lesnar, and he's terrified of Braun Strowman. It is too soon for Gunther to be afraid of somebody. That pissed me off so bad when I saw that. Anyways, we have that. Then we have the main event, which was the last first round match. Pete Dunne versus Sami Zayn. Another good match between the two of them. A lot of involvement, though, from the Bloodline. No Roman Reigns yet. And the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus. But Pete Dunne eventually, off distractions, would get the win with the bitter end on Sami Zayn. Afterwards, though, Solo Sikoa ran and hits the spinning solo on Pete Dunne. McIntyre comes in after Sikoa to beat him down again, as they have history. As Solo's the reason why Roman did not win. I mean, Roman retained at Clash at the Castle. And then, of course, Roman Reigns does arrive. He comes out. He's laying out spears on the floor. McIntyre takes his shirt off and waves him into the ring, but then Solo attacks McIntyre again from behind, and Drew takes him out. But then Roman spears Drew. Then Sheamus getting ready to take him out with a bro kick, but then they start going at it. Sami Zayn then attacks Sheamus from behind and creates an opening for a Superman punch. So Roman Reigns is in the corner, setting up the spear. Sheamus, I think it was. When all of a sudden, Kevin Owens makes his return. Earlier this week it was reported Kevin Owens suffered an MCL injury on Raw. But I guess apparently he's healthy and he's going to be the 5th member as predicted by a lot of people in the War Games match. So he came out and joined the party and we got chaos all over the place. And then, of course, it ends as Roman went for the spear, but then Owens cut him off with a knee, and then he hits the stunner on Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline goes running off. And that, my friends, is how SmackDown ended. Again, this War Games match, yeah, it's a little bit randomly thrown together, but man, is it going to be physical. We got all 5 members of the Bloodline. Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn versus the Brawling Brutes, Ridge Holland, Pete Dunne, and Sheamus. That'll be physical. Drew McIntyre, and now Kevin Owens, who already got a little taste of War Games back in 2019 when he's appeared as a surprise 4th member for Team Ciampa. And he did awesome at that. Kevin Owens is meant for War Games. What I still think is happening, though, is I think the idea of this War Games match, though, is to really put over Sami Zayn. I think this will be definitely a momentum shifter because, of course, even in this brawl here, they teased that Sami Zayn just could not attack Kevin Owens. He couldn't do it. Teasing more of some sort of reunion. And for them, hopefully, to win the tag titles at WrestleMania off the Usos, which will be an excellent story for sure, as it needed to happen. But that, my friends, is my SmackDown review. Of course, there's a lot of stuff in the live chat. But of course, we did have Robbie One Kenobi send me another message on Instagram. Let me pull it up. Let me play it. And let me see what we've got here. 2 new messages. 4 new messages. Oh boy. Let's see what Robbie's got to say.
I know this is a SmackDown review, and I'm watching your SmackDown review right now.
Oh, wait.
As I record
wait,
this
hold
message.
on.
But, so, have it be Edge versus Finn
Okay,
Balor.
hold on. No, I'm sorry. 2 new messages. Sorry. So here's this one.
Likes, you got quite a kick out of it the first time. I'm just going to straight up say, Robbie One Kenobi has arrived! Scissor me, Daddy Mike!
Scissor me, Robin! Oh, man. Oh, man. Yes, that would be a great... Robbie is still the king of sound style, as always. But yes, Scissor me! Daddy Robin! We will talk about, of course, the Acclaimed in my Full Gear review for sure. And, of course, they're the main reasons why my fiance is actually enjoying watching wrestling with me. Because of the Acclaimed. And also because she thinks Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre are fun to look at. And she even can't decide who she wants to see win the War Games match. But yes, look at that. I found love, and she even appreciates the art of wrestling. Not a big fan like me, but slowly gaining some interest. Which is cool to see. Anyways, and no, there'll be no scissor me at the wedding. There won't be. But anyways, we have some very good stuff in the live chat. I will honor that before we go off the air. And then I will, of course, prepare for the Full Gear preview and predictions. Well, actually, I will say one thing, though, before I do the live chat. So again, earlier in the day, I posted a video, and I posted some tweets recently saying how I'm considering, expanding on my social media presence. I think the one thing I'm at least going to do for now, I thought about this for a while, is change my Twitter handle. As long as Twitter's still alive, I think I should remain consistent and just have my Twitter handle be at the Club of the Man 1993. I figured out how to do it. I'm going to do it tonight. The reason why I didn't do it yet, though, is because I don't want to change it for my Full Gear graphics. So for now, my Twitter is still DemanAirboy93. After tonight, though, it will be changed to the Club of the Man 1993. And again, as far as the other stuff I mentioned, like maybe using TikTok more for it, maybe making a Facebook or Instagram page. I'm still considering that, but we will get into that more. As I said, if I do make that transition, I probably will not have it all done until the beginning of 2023. Or even a little bit later, because the holidays going to be busy for me. Beginning of January is going to be busy too, because I do have another business trip this January, like I did last year. But anyways, so we'll see where that all goes. But anyways, let's check your guys' very well, your very appreciated thoughts in the live chat. I think we are here with Wrestling News 365. If Charlotte Flair comes back to never to be, she'll probably just being a women's champion match again. Probably rather have Charlotte as SmackDown Women's Champion and AJ as WWE Champion on SmackDown, as of course I expect from Tyler. Wrestling News 365. I would like to see Sheamus and Roman in a one-on-one Universal title match. Wouldn't be too bad. It would be definitely be physical since Sheamus has really revived his career. Because Triple H actually listens to what the fans want. So if he thinks it's stupid, he's not going to do it, just like the 24/7 title got thrown away because it was trash. Do you think that the women's superstar is going to be in this year's War Games? Do you think she'll show up at War Games or on Raw Monday night? And on the graphic I showed her with I still think it's going to be Becky. But I also think, to have a surprise, I still think they should have, like, Candice LeRae get into the match. and maybe have either Candice or Alexa, like, basically get, like, you know, kayfabe-wise written out of the match, and have Becky Lynch show up as a surprise at War Games. Because I still think Becky should be in that War Games match. That's what I'm still thinking. Charlotte should have won at Mania. That should be no more rematches for Horseface. I'm glad we're not seeing any legends return back to WWE either under the Triple H regime. Hopefully we don't. Well, we've seen some. But what I like is that they're not like the whole centerpiece of the show. So, I'm okay with that. And as usual, stuff, that picture of Horseface as champion makes me sick. Oh, God. Randy Orton versus Matt Hardy might be set for Saturday night, but you have to. But do you want to have to get Matt Riddle serious again? Yes. As I keep saying, Matt Riddle's got to go heel. I think the best route to go this is for Matt Riddle to go heel instead of Randy Orton going heel. If I book Survivor Series, it's brand warfare. How about this in my booking? Make Charlotte as SmackDown Women's Champion versus Asuka as Raw Women's Champion. I've seen that match out a lot of times. Nah, not really interested. But, you know, thank you, Tyler. Horseface and Mooseface. What? Is Shayna Mooseface? Aw, come on, man. You know, Mike, how about rejuvenated with how rejuvenated Sheamus and his career has been as of late, and his interactions with the Bloodline, I'm down for a Roman Reigns Sheamus program heading into Royal Rumble. They very well could. I'm still kind of hoping for a Roman and AJ feud, though, but not going to be opposed to giving that another shot with how Sheamus has rejuvenated his career. I'll be honest, though. If they want to give Brock Lesnar a victory, I really wouldn't mind seeing Brock Lesnar versus Sheamus. I guess that I thought when they didn't have Sheamus win it, when they had Sheamus retain at TLC 2015, before Roman, of course, took the title off him, I'm thinking, okay, Royal Rumble, Sheamus, Brock Lesnar for the world title. I still want to see that match. I think it would be great. Of course, we have Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley still, which I think they're going to try to get that to Mania. But we could. If it happens, please let Roman call Sheamus Tater Tots as a callback to the dreadful 2015 feud. But I would expect the promos and match itself to be leagues above their TLC match. Yeah, because remember the League of Nations? Yeah. It could be good. Again, Sheamus, I always think Sheamus does not get enough credit. Sheamus is like a brawler. He's a hard worker. Again, I think he deserves a little more credit than he actually gets. But I agree completely. I think it wouldn't hurt to give him another shot. Or even, of course, at Chamber also they want to do it too. I think one of those shows, though, you should consider still doing Roman versus AJ. And then hopefully Roman versus Rocket Mania. Still hoping for it. If it doesn't happen this year in Hollywood, then I'm not gonna ever think it's gonna happen again. Let me see here. Tyler thinks Orton is better as a heel, which I do agree, but I think the story can warrant itself this time. I think I can give Orton, the mileage of being a babyface against Riddle, because again, I just don't know what it is, but Riddle has really fallen flat on me since his feud with Rollins ended. Bring back old pay-per-views like Backlash, which we do have. Well, I'm sorry, Backlash, not WrestleMania Backlash, and No Mercy. I would love to see No Mercy again, and several others. But thank you guys as always. I'm going to take a few minute breather, but I will be up here in just a couple minutes, and we are going to review AEW Full Gear 2022 from last night. And then, of course, like I said, I'll be very busy for Thanksgiving. But, of course, after tonight, the one change I will make is that my Twitter will no longer be Demand Airboy 93. I'm going to try to switch it over to the Club of Demand 1993. And as far as everything else I talked about earlier, still considering it. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. So guys, that's my review on SmackDown. What are your thoughts on SmackDown this week? I gave the show a C+. Again, the stuff with, the World Cup tournaments was good. I wasn't a big fan of having Shayna Baszler lose, and I hated how they booked Gunther on the show. I absolutely hated it. So I gave the show a C+. What grade would you guys give it? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. Catch you guys in a few minutes for my full gear review. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.